Welcome back to the Game Link podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Lebbi, and as always, I'm joined by my friend Elmer here.
Hey there, Hoder.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Netflix Castlevania series. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But before we get into it, what did you do this last couple of weeks? It's been a while.
It has unfortunately been a while. That falls entirely on my shoulders because one, I'm a bad person, and two, I'm a bad boyfriend. The first week we had to take a little bit of an intermittence off. We were in the process of moving some appliances. We were trading with some other people. So while, yes, it is great, I have a new washer and dryer set up. At the same time, I feel very, very sorry for depriving you, very special and very grateful people, with our drunken ramblings. And then last weekend was when I was a bad boyfriend because, unfortunately, it was my girlfriend's birthday last weekend. Happy birthday, sweetie! And while we had a lot of fun at the same time, I'm like, oh God, we're depriving our wonderful listeners of us talking about spooky video games during this great spooky season of ours. So, no, for that I am so sorry. But other than that, yes, I've been working on, well, pretty much winterizing my home and doing yard work, including mowing one part of my split neighbor's yard. And I felt a little off doing that, but I'm like, dude, I need to fill my pumpkin bag. I spent how much on that fucking bag? I need to fill that son of a bitch.
Well, we can do a little bit of more spooky into November, I think, right? A little bit, since we missed the first couple weeks.
That makes sense. I mean, on top of that, I mean, Jesus Christ, we're ended up shoving bread up a bird's ass by the end of that month too. So yeah, it's kind of spooky.
Yeah. Did you see anything good?
Have I seen anything good,
Yeah.
or have I seen anything interesting?
Well, what have you watched the last few weeks that you liked?
That I haven't already gushed about on here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were saying you saw Clerks 3, right?
I've seen Clerks 3. I've seen Hocus Pocus 2. I've seen Halloween Ends. I've seen... You gotta get a bit more specific. All of them are fine, but none of them are things I'm going to be calling my favorite of the year so far.
Yeah, which ones of those were the best out of the bunch?
Clerks 3. I'm just going to say that right now. It is completely outside of the realm of what a normal Clerks or even a normal Kevin Smith film is. Feels actually more in line with Jersey Girl than anything else, believe it or not.
I haven't seen it yet.
But no, check it out. It hits a little close to home in a lot of fronts. So no, good, very good film. Just watched it last night. Had a great time with it. So
All right. Yeah, I also watched Halloween Ends, and I don't know. I think we had the same idea of it, right? Where it was like not necessarily bad, but it just wasn't great.
my metaphor of it is being stuck behind an ice cream truck going 45 miles an hour on the interstate and going from left to right to left anytime you're trying to merge. And it's like, look, I understand you really bring joy to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, pick a goddamn lane!
Yeah, it
is my description of Halloween Ends.
It never really like picked up or like got suspenseful. It was just kind of really slow, which sucked. But it's not the actors' fault. They did a great job, but.
What the movie was trying to balance too many plays at the same time. There were a few aspects of it I really did enjoy without spoiling the film. One of them has to deal with different ways people actually deal with long-term trauma, which was one of the topics of the past two movies in this little trilogy they've made here. But this one goes on a completely different route than what you would expect going into it. And then the other theme to it that I really did enjoy was that this is kind of an unofficial remake to another famous John Carpenter movie. I'm not going to spoil what, so I don't spoil the movie, but let's just say that aspect of the film I really did enjoy, and I thought it was really great, and I was laughing my ass off while everyone else was gasping in the theater when a certain death happens in the beginning of the film, and everyone else is like, wow, that guy's a sick fucker, and I'm still just laughing my ass off. All I needed was a cigar, and I would basically be Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. But, yeah, no, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
that aspect was fantastic, but the rest of the movie was kind of eh.
Yeah, there were good moments. But yeah, like Mike Myers was kind of.
You have to call him Mike Myers. You have to call him.
Michael Myers was kind of like almost not in the movie at all. Like only a couple scenes. So
I don't know if you knew this, and this is true. Dana Carvey is in the original Halloween 2 from 1981.
Hmm.
No joke. How hard do you think Universal is really discussing? Do we really want to get Mike Myers in here as an actual cameo? Do you kind of have him under contract when it comes to Shrek?
Uh, Probably not. Probably not
Okay,
happening.
I mean, he would have been a good like extra like cop in the background or like administrator or something like that. Just have, or do you think that'd just be a little too distracting?
I don't think it would ever happen, but if it did, I would enjoy it. But yeah, let's see, what else did I do? I huh didn't do much. Oh, I've been playing a lot of Need for Speed Heat on my Steam Deck,
Ooh.
which it like went on sale for like a really good price, and so I bought it, and then like a couple days later, they basically used that to promote to me their new game that's coming out in December, which looks really good. And I can't remember the title of it right now. It's like Unbound or something like that, but it looks great, and I'm excited for it because I like Need for Speed usually.
You sound like me with what Steam did recently with Warhammer 40K Space Marine, where they
Oh
released
yeah.
that for super cheap. And oh, I've been having so much fun playing that. That's probably the most I've played of an actual PC port in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't played that game in probably about a decade, but now I kind of want to jump back into it.
Oh,
That was a
it's
good one.
very smooth and a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a fun one. But yeah, so let's talk about Castlevania.
I just realized for the spectacular nature of this, you just gushing about Need for Speed there. So I mean, for our next horror episode, we're going to talk about the Aaron Paul movie.
Oh, no. No, the next episode we're going to be talking about chameleons.
Oh, that is correct. My apologies, everybody.
Yeah.
Slight spoiler alert there. I was just trying to do a joke, but apparently he reminded me, oh, no, we do actually have something like that.
No, yeah.
Stick around for the end of the show for more elaboration.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good episode next week. Yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, we watched a few episodes of the Netflix series.
Entire first season, which both of us forgot, oh, shit, that is only 4 episodes
Yeah,
long.
yeah. I've only seen, I think, the first season, maybe some of the second season, and I remember liking it back, when I was quarantined. But I've pretty much forgotten everything about it, so I was really looking forward to this.
Wait, you watched this back in 2020?
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, we're gonna have even more to elaborate on when it comes to the actual series of this. But no, now I'm excited to figure out what you dug up for Castlevania here.
Yeah, well, the Netflix series is based on Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which is actually the only one on NES that I haven't played yet. Um, so I'll talk a little bit about the first one, and then I'll talk a little bit about this one. Um,
How about this? I will elaborate on the second one because I've got a pretty good take on that one.
oh, Simon's Quest.
Oh, you're gonna have a good take on this one too.
I couldn't beat either of them. They were both really difficult, and in the case of Simon's Quest, really obscure. Where like, it's like, how do you know to what to do to get to the next level? Like, it was really frustrating. Just hard for no reason.
That and the way they implemented the 2D movement to it was just so fucking hard compared to the
parallax
first.
scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 was kind of a stinker. 1 was good but hard. I never finished either of them, but so the first one was made for the Nintendo Famicom in 1986, and it's if you've never played Castlevania, it's a spooky game about hunting vampires, basically. And at the time, Konami didn't allow its staff to use real names because they didn't want the competing companies to like poach their workers from them. So a lot of the development staff for the first game used names taken from famous horror movie icons. So the director Hitoshi Akamatsu went by Trans Fisher in reference to Terrence Fisher. Uh, and he said the visuals of and the music for Castlevania were made by people who consciously wanted to do something cinematic. The main protagonist, Simon Belmont, used a whip partly because Akamatsu loved Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Also, because he had a little bit of a fetish, I'm guessing, somewhere in the middle. But continue.
Yeah, so like the team obviously really loved like classic horror and cinema, and you can really see that in the series. Like pretty much the entire Castlevania series is one giant reference. Um, they they actually had to remove a lot of blood, gore, and religious references from the first few games because I think they were trying to go a little too non PC for Nintendo back in the day.
Oh, no, no, no. Nintendo Japan didn't give a shit. It
It was
was
Nintendo
Nintendo
of
North
America. Yeah,
America.
it was Nintendo of America. Um, but yeah, let's see, where am I? So we already have that awesome game. I definitely recommend playing it, but um, if you have a hard time with NES games, like it's definitely not the best one. So, um, Castlevania 3: Dracula's Curse came out in 1989 in Japan and 1990 in America. And the differences between there was differences between the Japanese and American versions. So like the Japanese version actually had a different soundtrack because like the Famicom had a different sound chip than the American NES. So they actually had to like rewrite a lot of the soundtrack for the North American release. And they also had to cut religious references and a bunch of stuff. But but this game, like what they did was basically take like all their knowledge from the first two games and just make it better in every way. Like it actually won like awards for for how good it was, and it got really good ratings. Let's see, Nintendo Power rated it the ninth best NES game, and was praising it for its improvements over Simon's Quest. So definitely play that one if you want to play an old Castlevania game. It sounds the best. It was also the first Castlevania game to implement like the Metroid map stuff, and it's kind of how the whole like Metroidvania style came Metroidvania. So yeah.
And challenge to any of our listeners, please, if you like us and you want to maybe recommend anything. In your opinion, what is a good film reference to Metroid? Because I really want to pitch to Lebbi here to do a Metroid episode. So if you guys can think of a good movie recommendation in terms of that,
Well, I
because
mean,
we've already done Aliens, so sadly we kind of cut that one out of there. I don't consider Creature to be part of that same vein, nor Event Horizon. That's just a little too Dead Spacey. But we'll get to Dead Space inevitably.
yeah, the sad thing is it would definitely be Alien because that's what the Metroid games were based on.
I mean, your main bad guy in it is freaking Ridley, named after Ridley Scott. But yeah, no. If you guys have any other like obscure Italian ones, please provide it for us. And I already know about Shocking Dark, and trust me, I would love to do Shocking Dark at some point.
What was that? What was that movie that we went and saw at the Trilon with the space vampires?
Life Force.
That could be a good one.
I don't know what we talk about, but my God, Life Force, one of the most gloriously bad films of all time. Canon Films, George Lazenby, Patrick Stewart, Matilda May's breasts. What more can you want in a movie directed by the guy who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Oh.
Yeah, no, I liked that one. We should do that. We should do that.
We just need to think of a good thing to bring up.
I'll make a note of that right now. Did you find anything? I'm sure you found interesting things about the Netflix series.
So here's the funny thing. Even more beyond, Nintendo entertaining the idea of doing any kind of a cinematic or TV adaptation of Castlevania, considering that they licensed Simon Belmont out to Captain N, the Game Master, back in the 1980s. which I've been joking with him. We have to cover that before we do this series. And he was so happy this morning when he messaged me and goes, "So, what are we talking about today?" And I said, "I don't know. Let's do something spooky like Castlevania or something." He goes, "Wait, we're gonna do the Netflix series, right?" And I said, "Yes, no, we're not doing, we're not doing Captain N." But no, it's actually kind of shocking to see that there has not been a lot of development on adaptation of this show, or I should say, this series.
Yeah, I didn't know it had 4 seasons, even though I specifically downloaded it to my server. Uh, I didn't realize it had 4 seasons. It's
Yeah, they went a little harder and more in depth. This is like Netflix's versions of like Hell on Wheels. You're like, wait, how many episodes of that is there out
yeah,
there?
it seems like like really good action with an in-depth story.
Like Hell on Wheels. No.
Sorry, go on.
No, no, not a problem. So anyway, originally they started working on this series, they've been pitching ideas for it since about, I think they said about 93 or 94. It's been bouncing around, and the place that has actually owned the rights to it and they've been repaying it almost this entire time has been Frederator.
Oh yeah.
The people who created and financed Oh Yeah Cartoons, What a Cartoon, The Fairly Odd Parents, Adventure Time. They've been doing most of Charlie the Unicorn for the better part of 12 years. And
Yeah.
what was the last one that they did? That was Simon's Cat.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's where this shit comes from. It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was wild. I never actually watched through the credits before when I watched it on Netflix, and so I never heard that Frederator.
But on top of that, so after they finally got it up and running a few years ago, one of the other main producers of the show is a guy named Avi Shankar, who has been somebody who has been pushing for like a people to reassert adaptations and kind of keep studios to a stricter storyline basis. He's been very, and I mean very, critical of like a lot of the Marvel stuff, of Star Wars, DC, and stuff like that.
Good.
He's the guy who's actually financed a lot of like the what's the phrase that he uses for it? Like the one take universe or something like that, where basically he did like these fan films. Punisher Dirty Laundry, where it's Thomas Jane coming back to play the Punisher in like this one shot that's only about like 20 minutes long, but it's got Thomas Jane and Ron Perlman in it, and it's just about the Punisher on just an average day having to be in laundry detail and going, oh fuck, these assholes are out here kind of
I
thing.
always thought Henry Rollins would make a great Punisher.
Can we get Kevin Feige on the phone? Kevin, call us. You give me the pitch, man. I'll write the story. I think we got this.
I mean, that's the whole pitch. Henry Rollins as the Punisher. You know, that would be like a great like action comedy, like dark comedy. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Make it happen.
That might actually be a good way to introduce Deadpool into the MCU if he just pops up in the background.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my god, I'm in love now. I never thought of that before. Okay, sorry. Anyway, he also did Power/Rangers, which is a really kind of neat fan film that's about maybe 6 or 7 minutes long that actually helped to inspire the creation of the Power Rangers movie from 2017.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But Shankar also did some good stuff. He also was like one of the major financiers for Dread 2012, one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay. Which anybody who listens to this or knows me personally, that makes a lot of sense. But he did that. He did Truth in Journalism, which is basically like a Venom short. That's really cool. It's basically a like a horror comedy version of Man Bites Dog. If you've ever seen that.
No, I haven't.
Oh, check that one out. It's really cool. It's like a found footage movie where it's like these film students filming this serial killer.
Okay.
That one's really cool. But so Shankar was like one of the major people who said we need to stick to the story of the game. Be maybe not strict with it, but at least kind of be true to it, so to speak. Don't bastardize it. Don't clean it up for a normal audience.
And you said Shankara, not Linkara, right?
Yes, Shankara. Not our Minnesota neighbor, Linkara. We love you, Lewis, but no, we're not talking about you.
We need more action.
Oh, look, it's Miller time. However, Shankara was also one of the guys who did somewhat influence them to get rid of Apu from The Simpsons, which I don't blame him. I don't put any effort on him.
Yeah.
But simultaneously, it's like, I think we all could have met on an easier ground when it came to Apu, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway. No, that's somewhat of the production side of that. The voice cast consists of many, many great voice actors in it. Just off the top of my head, Graham McTavish as Dracula. Son of a bitch, I just forgot that son of a bitch's name. Richard Armitage as Trevor Belmont. So, yes, we have two people from The Hobbit right then and there, two dwarves from The Hobbit. And I swear to God, somewhere else in the series, there's another person that pops up. Matt Frewer, Max Headroom himself. He is like the head priest of the Catholic Church that's trying to kill them and stuff like that. The gal who plays, no joke, the armorer / like the head of the Mandalorian sect that Din Djarin on the Mandalorian is part of on the Disney series. She does the voice of Elisa Tepish, aka Dracula's wife, on top of everything else, and you're just like, wow, they really did stack this cast. Holy shit. We haven't even got to the second season yet when frickin' Peter Stormare comes into play, but yes.
Was Matt Mercer in this?
I don't believe so. Why?
Oh, I was going to say, this definitely feels like something he would be in. So I was hoping that he would have been.
No, it would have been great if he would have. I mean, let's put it this way, because I now as well have finished the Vox Machina, which we were joking about that because I'm staring at Belmont designing this. I'm like, what does he remind me of something? I went, oh, Liam O'Brien's character from Legend of Vox Machina. There it is. And I saw this back in the day when it first premiered. That first weekend, we watched all 4 episodes. So, but no. Yeah, great production behind this, and considering that they did 4 seasons of this, and I admit I only watched until maybe the second part of the second season, or I should say half of the second season. I did really like it back in the day. I just kind of had some other things going on at the time, so I didn't get to watch any more of it. But this series, and I've seen the actual last 2 episodes of it, is still pretty entertaining and still pretty good, and I might actually continue watching it after this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to also. I really like the animation. It looks so good.
Well, as I was telling you, and I think I might have kind of alluded to earlier, the production design of this, they went, okay, we just need to make this look like the best Castlevania series possible. So they went, well, why don't we just hire the guys who animated the best Castlevania movie possible? And they just went, hey, everybody who worked for Yoshiaki Kawajiri on Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, who wants to work for us? We have cash. And 3/4 of the actual animation department's like, we'll do it.
And you can tell, and it looks great. I'm a big fan. No, we were I think it's been 3 weeks since we've seen each other, so we were pretty much just catching up the whole time it was on in the background. But yeah, it's like I said before, it's a really story driven series with great action.
And on top of that, the story itself is pretty good, where it's just sort of about a pre-Renaissance, so a post-Dark Age into a pre-Renaissance eras butting up against each other. And it's a good representation of just showing old ideologies meeting new ideologies. It's oh, this is actually kind of heady and makes sense. You actually feel sympathetic for Dracula in a Castlevania series.
Yeah, it's real good. It's real good. I definitely want to finish this series, but it'll probably take a while. I'm also watching so many other things. So.
Remember, my missus started me in Bleach. I'm never going to see the light of day again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love Johnny Yun Bosch. That's what's keeping me going.
I really liked Bleach back in the day. And then by the time I got to like the third season, I was like, it's just the same thing over and over. It's never gonna change, and I just no, I just can't stand it anymore.
How many seasons of Pokemon have you seen?
Maybe I watched like the first 4 or 5.
And you were saying?
Well, I was
I'm
a
kidding.
child.
I know.
That's
I'm
different.
joking. I'm joking.
Uh, but yeah,
No, I know what you mean about series though, but
yeah, I do not like Bleach. Ugh. Anyway,
Castlevania.
yeah. Do you really have anything else to add, or?
Pretty much, I just want to say that it's pretty promising to hear that they're now currently working on kind of like a prequel series to it, and potentially they might actually have a live action film
I would be down for that.
that might be coming down the pipeline at some point too.
That would be sweet.
Hmm.
Oh man, yeah. So I think I know what both of our answers are, but was this a bop or a flop, Elmer?
Oh, this show was a bop and a half. I mean, we watched the entirety of the first season. The only thing that I feel a little bitter about for it is that before anything really, really cool happened, and I'm trust me, some really cool shit happened, but before anything really cool happened, the season ended because it was basically like a proof of concept they just wanted to try, which
Yeah.
I understand. It's Nintendo, you're paying through the ass for royalties.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you actually, get your money's worth before you start spending more on it. But at the same time, yeah, no, this was awesome and knowing what I know about the rest of the next season, I definitely would be like, you know what? No, next Halloween or next time we're just like, yeah, we need a good palate cleanser. Let's watch the first 3 episodes of Castlevania season 2. I'm all game for.
Well, and the cool thing is, like, vampires have been getting more popular again, and not in the Twilight aspect, but in like the badass aspect, where you have like What We Do in the Shadows and all this stuff coming back. So, I'm in the vampire mood. That's for sure. But yeah, I definitely think this was a bop. Uh, I do want to finish it, and I can't wait to see if they actually make a movie. That would be dope. um, but yeah, so we were actually talking earlier about trying to start streaming on YouTube at the same time. So if you want to catch our streams there, keep an eye out soon for that to be live on YouTube. Um, but yeah, otherwise, if you want to find our any of our other socials or where you can listen to us, head over to gamelink.click, and we'll see you next week where we will have our first guest appearance on the show, our good friend Scully from Thor's Hour of Thunder. We're going to be talking about chameleons. So
Which Chameleons, for those not in the know, and myself not up until about a month ago in the know, is basically, no joke, it's Half-Life
it's
the
Half Life.
movie.
Yeah.
We will elaborate why. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So look forward to that. It's gonna be next Sunday, probably around the same time, about 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, we'll see you guys then.
Stay safe, stay sexy, folks.
Bye.